Hello, what you doing?
I don't know, mate.
Oh, she's hilarious. I don't know. What the fuckity fuck do I know?
What do you say?
What the fuck do I know?
What?
A couple of what the fucks.
Welcome, friends and fam, to What the Fuck Do I Know? With your host, Sarah Ford and Nathaniel Rolf. Today we ask, what the fuck do I know?
What?
What the fuck do we know?
What?
And please do tell, what the fuck do you know?
What?
Thank you for joining us as we explore... Wait, what are we exploring?
I don't know.
Okay, all right. Sarah! How you doing, Sarah?
Hi!
Oh my god, it's so good to see you again. It's been so long since I have seen you, my dear friend.
It's been too long.
So long. Here we are. Our first, I guess we decided to call it the pilot episode.
This is the pilot.
Season 1, episode 1, or maybe just season, who knows, or the pilot. The executives have to decide, I guess. No, but there's no executives. Screw the executives. I don't even care if the executives
What
say it. Anyway.
executive?
So we will present this pilot to us,
Yeah.
and then we will move forward regardless of how we feel about the pilot.
Okay. Sounds like a
Or as spirit with spirit.
Oh, yeah.
As spirit board. Anyway, but how you doing?
Good. Brilliant. I'm brilliant. Yeah. Fantastic. How are you?
Wonderful. The funny thing is we are coming into this with really no real, there's a lot of people that put they might even have a producer. They're like a production, talk about things with their producer and, mull over ideas and things. This really has been completely just on the fly, just like.
Yeah. This is what?
Okay. I mean, we've been talking, what the fuck are we going to do? We don't know. What the fuck are we doing?
We don't know. Do you know?
Right? I guess it's funny because the whole point, so one of the things, because with the name, I guess maybe it might be fun to talk about the name for a second. It's kind of, because one of the things we were going to do is, because we really, like I was saying, we don't really have a production plan. There's no, most podcasts are topical or like a very specific topic and come in and talk about the topic or a very specific plan. We're just flying by the seat of our pants, trusting. I loved one of those posts you did on your Instagram not that long ago. The inspiration is inspiration in spirit.
Yeah.
So the inspiration is just to trust the inspiration. Period.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
And in context of that, we've been mulling over doing a podcast for quite a while. And it just never really, I don't know. I just kind of knew I've been feeling it for a long time, but never really, I just feel like the doing will do as the do starts doing me. That sounds.
Yeah. And it's just like.
Sound, I don't know, weird, but.
Now it feels good to do whatever it is we're doing.
Right.
But
then a lot of it, for me, it was the name. The name of the podcast is kind of because the name kind of sets the stage for what the point is. And the reality is, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. So why not just be honest about that from the start and because I just know I'd like to chat about not knowing what the hell I'm doing.
Yeah, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I thought that you knew what you were doing, so I was just going along with you, what you knew, what you were doing, and so, yeah, we just don't know what we're doing.
Well, you may have noticed, like, over the last week, too, now that we've decided to do it, like, literally, as I've sent you texts, okay, so what do you think of this idea? It's just literally on the spot, like, okay, and just as I start playing with the idea and more, just more things pop up, and then just like, yeah, okay, let's do it. So one of the ideas was, since we don't really have an idea of what we're doing, is to ask Spirit. Ask Spirit. Oh wait, I want to show you. I actually have Spirit here in my hands. This is Spirit. We have decided to ask. Isn't spirit beautiful? I know. Like I was sharing with you that I've always wondered what spirit looked like, as I've been exploring spirit and talking to
I knew
spirit
it
and
was
people.
blue.
Right? Well,
Okay.
that is the community. That is the throat chakra, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll be real. The darts I had were either green or blue, and I was like, well, is it going to be heart or is it going to be throat chakra? And I'm like, well,
Oh, maybe another time we'll do the heart one.
right, right. The only thing I do, I kind of wish you could throw a dart too. Well, you should get a board at your.
Yeah, maybe I'll
Here's the
get.
thing, because what would be neat is because you're across the pond. I'm in the United States, and you're across the pond, and you're my friend in the future, which is amazing. You're in the future, so it'd
Yeah.
be amazing to consult the future with a dart, or with spirit, not a dart, spirit,
Spirit.
and then it'd be a fun game to consult the future, and then and then the past, my future, and then your past at the same time to see where my future and your past, the vibrations
Wow.
of your past and my future.
Yeah. Wow. I like that idea.
It's kind of a dude man moment. Dude man. But so we came up with a list of on this is the I will show you. I'm going to do a quick cameraman 3 moving down the board, please. So cameraman 3 is moving down the board, and I'm kind of looking on the side here. I don't know if you can read that. I may have to ask you to tell me if you can read that.
I might have to put my glasses on for that.
On the top it says, "What the fuck do I know?" Message board or message from Spirit topic board. And then on the bottom, our graphics team put together a sign that says, "Today we explore what?" Right? Because I also like the spontaneity of it all. That's part of the
Yeah.
point.
It's great.
So we came up with a list of possible topics.
Yeah, because I haven't heard your topics.
So I was going to just kind of read through the list real quick. I will try. Hopefully, yeah. I'm going to read through the list real quick. So possible topics that we may explore today, depending on what spirit determines for us. The words some of these are things that and a lot of this is just like things. These are a lot of these things, the things that I came up wrote down are things that I just contemplate or think about anyway. Some of the things even I kind of put up on my Instagram that you may have seen. But words we use to express compassion or empathy, like feeling bad for someone, or feeling sorry for. I'm really fascinated by assumption and the word assuming, and how much assuming we do as humans in this human existence, this human life gig we do. I would be curious to discuss or chat about the why me algorithm program that is so a part of so much of our lives here. The concept of going the wrong direction with life choices or things we're doing was another subject. Really, and the reason that one came up for me is my landlord was here working on some stuff, and it was Sunday, and I had a quick chat with him, and he was working hard on the unit next to me. He needs some work before they can get some people in there, and he was working hard on that unit, and I was asking him how's it going. I haven't seen him for like many months. He's like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there's a barbecue in my neighborhood. I'm trying to get this done before I go back to the barbecue. I'm like, oh yeah, you should go. I'm like, it's Sunday. You should go have some fun, right? I'm like, what? It's Sunday. Come on. Put the work down. Go. And he's like, yeah, I just want to get this done before I go to my barbecue, but this is going the wrong direction. And I was like, wait. There's no such thing as the wrong direction. Anyway, so concept of dysregulated. I'm very fascinated by that word, dysregulated. Just for many reasons. I'm fascinated by that one. I don't want to go. Yeah, mirror. I'm always fascinated with the mirrors that comedy provide for us in our lives and provide for people, and how what comedy shares for us about us makes us face. One day I woke up and marsupials are on my mind. So I put marsupials. I don't know. Marsupials are on my mind. I don't know why. So I wrote it down. I was fascinated about fear narratives. Curious about,
Hang on.
some of
I
the...
thought you were going to tell me a joke then. About marsupials.
Like a kangaroo and a koala walked into a bar and...
Yeah, I was waiting for the punchline.
There's no punchline. Marsupials are the punchline. They're super amazing critters. They're amazing. I don't know. So I did look up. So I printed up a wiki. I'm prepared if that one gets hit with a little bit of information. They're really fascinating. There's some really fun facts that are interesting about marsupials. They're a really interesting creature. I don't know. Why the hell not? Because I'm just. There's so much that's fascinating about this amazing
Yeah.
world. Fear narratives is always fun to talk about. Just explore that concept. I'm really fascinated by portal days. A friend of mine, a dear friend of mine, recently texted me that it was Quantum Day, the World Quantum Day the other day, and I was like, oh wow, Quantum Day. Like,
What?
isn't every day Quantum Day? Isn't every day Portal Day?
Yeah.
Like once I saw that it was like Cupcake Day, and I'm like, oh,
Cupcake day.
isn't every day Cupcake? No, I mean, come on. Well, there's so many Cupcake Days. Actually, one of the fast food joints in our neighborhood. One of our fast food joints in the neighborhood always has a sign on their window about the next, like, one. It's either Pie Days coming up, Vanilla Shake Days coming up. I don't know. It's really hilarious to me. Haptics. The word haptics and how it applies to our human experience and vibration and energetic communication. This is a weird one that came up yesterday for me.
What is that?
So haptics. Haptics are like, when you're using any electronic device, and say if you touch the screen, it vibrates on your finger, or it vibrates, or it gives like a vibrational feedback. Or if you've ever been to a theater that has the butt shaker seats, or like you ever been to a theater where it has what I call the butt shakers, where when an explosion happens, the seat vibrates.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, I have
Like
seen
that.
Shrek. I have seen Shrek, and they did all of
Nice.
that. Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. So, but I love that word that just came up with my son the other day as he was looking through his phone settings, and he was like, "What's haptics, Dad?" And honestly, I was like, "I don't know what haptics are." And then he looked up what it was, and I was like, "Ooh," because I like talking about things like words like that, and then like taking them, exploring them beyond the context they're usually kind of packaged in. Like, because it is about vibration and the energy of vibration communicating with our physical bodies.
Wow.
Like that's what haptics is. And like, I don't know, it sounds like a fun thing to chat about.
Mm.
Anyway, parental judgments and frustrations with our children's expression of fun. That again came up with my son the other day when I realized I was like telling my son, "Stop! What are you doing?" And then I realized, wait a minute, he's just having fun. Why am I shutting down his fun? But there's so much that as a parent sometimes we can't help ourselves from trying to shut down our children's fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk too deep because that would be a better, longer conversation. And, in general, I'm just interested in the empowerment, sovereignty of the human experience and context of AI expansion and growth in our world. I think that'd be a fun conversation. You should statements projected upon us from all around us, and the I shoulds that we impose on ourselves.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a fun chat. Know thyself. Discuss. You did that with one of your. I'm like, I love saying discuss after the subject.
Yeah.
I should do that with every subject from now. Explore the off.
Discuss.
Yeah, discuss. You can say almost any word and then discuss afterward, and then that'd be a fun game.
Yeah. Farts.
Just right, like
Discuss.
discuss. Farts. Discuss. Right? Could totally take out a dictionary and just page through the dictionary, open up a page, point to a word, and then say the word, and then discuss.
That's a good idea.
That'd be fun. Explore the often used phrase "living the dream." Discuss. Observing the lens we look through as we walk through the experience of our lives. Discuss. Following our heart's joys versus wrestling with what our brain wants us to do and how it feels different. That was,
Oh,
that
is
was
that
one you brought
mine?
up. That's yours. I reworded it a little bit.
I like that one.
Discuss. Any discoveries we may have discovered. LOL. Discuss. I don't know. Do you like pranking people? You said you do.
I do. Discuss.
I will not say whether I do or not until Spirit tells me to do so.
Okay.
When was your spiritual awakening? Which is especially interesting. That was one you brought up. Because to be honest, that leads into.
Or is there
me,
even? Does it? Is
what
there
the hell
even?
is a spiritual awakening?
Yeah. Discuss.
Discuss. Yeah. And then actually part of that was a two-part one. When was your spiritual awakening, as well as I kind of expanded it, like, have I or you or we always been spiritually connected? Discuss. As part of it. So, yeah, and I also kind of put this is a three-part, I guess, because then I did also write down this: is there such thing as a spiritual awakening? Becoming spiritually connected? Discuss.
Yeah.
That's all part of the set. That's all kind of one question.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of the part. I love this one that came up. Why do so many spiritual people speak so breathy? Discuss.
Well, it's because I don't know.
As far, I don't even know if I can speak. If I try to speak breathy, I don't know if it even sounds breathy.
When I try and do it, it goes into an American accent. I can't. Wow. No, I can't even do it. I can't even do it.
Is faux or fake spirituality a thing? Discuss. You actually said it's fake spirituality, and then I kind of expanded. I was like, well, is that even a thing, or what is that? Like, fake? Because we have questions about what. I mean, it's because we are human, so we do live the human experience as our human selves, and sometimes as people who have, for me, I can only speak for myself, exploring this spiritual community that sometimes I'm like, dude, that doesn't feel so spiritual to me, man. But like, then there's like who am I to even know what spiritual is?
Yeah.
Because if it's spiritual to them, I don't know. Now I'm going into the subject.
Yeah, and
I'm
nearly jumping in. So let's not discuss and say that's spirit.
Okay. Some people who identify as spiritual people are rude as fuck. Discuss. And
I like how you word it different.
Yeah, I rephrased how you said it because I don't know. That's okay. I hope that's okay. I took
that's great.
Rephrase it. Why the 80s was the coolest time to grow up? Discuss.
Now, I was assuming you were around like in that growing period in the 80s, but I realise I'm older than you. So, were you more teenager years in 90s? That's what I'm wondering. Because I was like, I was born in 72, so 80s was like when I was just like becoming, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, blah, blah, blah. And it was...
My high school years were 90s, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. But I'm Gen X, for sure. But my high school years were 90s.
Cool.
Yeah. So, but I do feel that I lived through the 80s, too.
Yeah.
I was more honestly paying attention to the pop culture stuff more, the culture more stuff, more in like the grunge, like the 80s, the 90s stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. Actually, we'll discuss this if...
Discuss. Sorry.
That says.
Okay. And the last one was the more I know, the less I know. Discuss. But the reality is, I was kind of wondering, that's just kind of like, the more I know, the less I know is kind of the whole point. That's kind of our mission statement. The more I know, the less I know. And I kind of feel like what's fun about these, I was going to say, is they're all interwoven, right? They're all like, so many of these are kind of...
Yeah.
And they're all kind of a part of each other. All of this is interwoven and a part of each other. So some of this may come up in context of other things discussed. It's just some of the discuss will just spawn the discuss of other discuss from that discuss.
Discuss. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just taking my socks off. It's like hot here.
Oh, good comfort, right? Really?
I just want to be open with you about that. Right, they're gone.
Right on. Well, it was thunderstorming a little bit ago and kind of chilly here, but because I do live in a place where spring hangs on to winter as long as possible. So here we go. Are we ready? Are we ready for Spirit?
We're ready.
Okay.
Spirit.
Whew. Okay. Are you rooting for anything particular?
Just
or are
something
we just
that
trusting?
I understand. Something I understand.
Okay. Oh, I was thinking this would be fun too. I'm going to turn on the Spirit communicator, like a telephone, and start dialing. It's the dial tone. Do you hear the dial tone? And I turn off my lights for this to kind of see it. There we go. Okay. All right, here we go.
Wow.
All right, Spirit.
That's adorable.
I think I'm going to close my eyes through. It's like I want to close my eyes for this, but this also is a rental unit. I don't necessarily want to hit the wall with the dart, but I don't want to also rig the system by having my eyes open and looking at a certain spot. But I'm a very horrible dart player, so my eyes are looking at a spot. That doesn't mean I'm going to hit that spot.
Okay.
I do not regularly play darts. Okay. Here we go. And, oh, should we do like a Spirit song or a Spirit
Yeah,
dance?
I feel like we need to...
Okay, come on, Spirit. There we go. Here you go. And discuss. Oh, okay. Oh. You know what? Spirit hasn't decided yet. Spirit's still kind of figuring it out too. Spirit. So there are some spaces in between where Spirit's still trying to figure it out too. Spirit is also kind of indecisive, just like us humans. You know?
Okay, come on, Spirit.
Spirit has human characteristics as well, because, well, humans are spirit, but, whatever. I digress. That's a different discuss.
Discuss.
Oh, man, okay. This is going to hit a subject. This is, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay, what do we get? Oh, this is interesting. Okay. Thank you, Spirit. Appreciate you. Thank you, oh sacred Spirit. I feel like I should have a specific prayer or something to say to Spirit.
Yeah, thank you. Danke schön.
Amen. I say, so be it. So it is. And
Yes,
Spirit has. I don't know if you can read that. It says,
Do you
like pranking people?
Sorry, my eyeglasses. Yes, I love it. Brilliant. Thank you, Spirit.
Thank you, Spirit. Oh, So you already stated that you do in the question. You answered the question.
So, I like little pranks, though, not ones when you see just terrible things happening to people. Like, I just like a little trick. You know?
Right.
Like, I can't even think of one now, but like all my favourite comedies and stuff are quite pranky. And, but like when I'm at work, I will put, the other day, I got a pineapple and I put it in my co-worker's area just so she found this pineapple. And then I put something else there a bit later. And a bit later on, she was like, I keep finding all this fruit and stuff. And it's like just little pranks, not like horrible, not like a shitload of water over your head or, I don't know, really bad ones. Like you see them on the internet and I can't watch them. It's like, oh. But I like a little trick.
Well, here's the funny thing. I can't help but show. So I love how even simple questions like this make me look at myself and explore myself and understand myself better. Because, pranks. I've had an aversion to pranks much of my life.
Oh.
Right? I'm not much of a prankster, really. And honestly, I had a relationship in my past, my significant other, that I'm not with right now, but was very intensely, like really intensely against pranks. And something I was noticing how that energy was still with me of like,
Yeah.
and I was noticing like I latched on to that belief system. Like I think I was never really a big prankster, and then I was kind of feeling into that, like that energy of that disgust for pranks was really still with me. And
Yeah.
I realized like, is that really mine? Like, do I really feel that way? And I feel like I did take it on, and I do have this. This started to make me question, like, because it's so much of what we explore about ourselves is like, sometimes we do go through, am I taking on someone else's stuff? Is what it made me start to think about. Did I take someone else's intense disgust for pranks? And then I'm like, but wait a minute. If I did feel the disgust, I made it my disgust. Like I made it my feeling. So then I'm realizing, well, wait a minute. I can no longer blame that person. Like I can't. I feel like, is that for me to go into is that their disgust that I just took on, or is it my disgust for pranks? And I'm like, well, if I chose to take that on as one of my beliefs, I do feel like I have to take the responsibility that I did that just was mine. And then really from there, okay, here's the walk of my brain on this. Where I'm like, from there, I'm like, then I come to a new place of where I can decide from a fresh place of, okay, so now that I've gone through is it that person's disgust of pranks that I took on as my belief system as a disgust for pranks? And then realizing that, well, wait a minute, if I did take it on, like, I used to call myself very gullible. It actually used to be something like one of my lines, like, I'm a very gullible person. But was I really gullible, or what did I have? I mean, I feel like everything's a learning. What did I have to learn from that? Because I did feel, if I'm feeling that energy of the disgust for pranks, I can't call it someone else's anymore.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's
Well,
like,
what made me ask that question though? Like, that's weird of me to say about pranks. Do you like pranks? Out of everything I could have said I want to discuss on this program, this podcast. And who knew that you had like an aversion to pranks?
right.
Wow.
Well, here's the thing. Well, we kind of already discussed, like, we're not,
Or you don't.
people, we met each other in this whole spiritual community, these spiritual community places. We explore a lot of the spiritual community stuff, and whatever the F that is. Wait a minute. I've already established that I could say whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
I've already established I can say that word.
You're grown up.
But I still like, is it safe to say that word? But so it's fun. But what I love about this is like where we're going, or we kind of really started to step towards, is I really do feel like I have had some aversions to my experience that I've learned or that I've explored in the spiritual communities, but because in a lot of it I just feel like, well, just being our human lives and doing our human gigs is in and of itself a spiritual act, a spiritual gift, a spiritual exploration every freaking day.
Yeah.
And just a life learn. I mean, the exploration of ourselves. Period. And anything we bring up can actually be a totally exploration of ourselves.
Yeah.
I mean, even because April Fool's Day was recently, so I thought maybe it was because it was April Fool's Day recently that you brought it up.
No, it went over my head, and I think it was just because I had done this little pineapple thing with my friend at work, and I was just like, what can we talk about on this podcast? I don't know. I enjoy doing a little prank. I run away from the scene. I'm laughing to myself, and then I'm like imagining I don't want to hurt people, so I don't want to do like horrible ones. But like even I actually don't even like the Elf on the Shelf thing. Like we've got that now from you guys over the pond.
What's the Elf on the Shelf?
What?
I don't know that.
At Christmas?
I don't. What?
You don't know Elf on the Shelf?
Apparently, I'm not Is this a United States thing?
Yeah,
this is not I'm not a very good United States citizen. I guess. Maybe
one of our people that view this podcast can tell us, but I'm pretty sure it came from America. And so in December, leading up to Christmas, the elf comes out and he's on the shelf and he would do like a prank. So my daughter, I've got a grandson, and she did one where she put cling film. I don't know what you call it over there. The stuff that you wrap food up in that's see-through. Cling film.
Okay. Like, I guess the brand name would be Saran Wrap, but that's a brand name.
Yes. So
not...
she put it over the toilet and put the elf on there, and then put some chocolate spread on there. And like when my grandson came down, he's like, "Oh, the elf has pooed all over the toilet," and all of that. So, but like you get really imaginative because you have to do it every day up until Christmas Eve, and then he goes again back to Santa. But I thought that came from America. Oh my god!
Elf on is the elf. So the elf's shelf is the cling wrap on the toilet. That's what the shelf is for the elf?
Yeah.
And you make it look like the elf poops. Am I understanding this all right?
Yeah, but there's loads of different pranks you do with this elf. Loads of different things. Like, oh my god, have you? I can't believe you've never heard of this. I thought this was, I thought we acquired it from you guys, but maybe not.
But this leads me to another question. So is a prank... Are the stories of Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, all of this stuff, aren't these kind of essentially pranks on our children?
Yeah, but
maybe
hang on
perhaps.
I feel like Santa is real. Disgust.
Oh, sweet.
Because if you don't believe in him, you don't get it. You don't get the gifts.
That's beautiful.
I
do believe in them. I do love the magic.
I love it.
I love the feeling of Christmas. I love the feeling of that. Yeah. But I guess I always had that. Because I'll be honest, I grew up in a house where I did not raise my son to believe in Santa Claus. I didn't do that. I know, right? I know.
Oh my god. What? So he knew it was pretend from the get-go.
Yes. My son is also. He's very.
My son.
Very scientifically minded, and he's very he's very sciencey.
I had to tell my son that he wasn't real when he went to big school, because he was going to get the piss took out of him at school otherwise.
Oh, interesting.
They believed. Oh my god.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I guess I've heard many stories or heard this, that some people have found it traumatizing to find out. But this is an interesting exploration of the imagination and how we play at the imagination. How we help our children explore imagination with these things like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny and whatnot when they're young, and then they grow up to find out those things don't exist. Yeah. Isn't that kind of counterproductive? Because I do believe in the power of the imagination. I wholeheartedly love imagination. I believe in the power, the energetic power of imagination.
I do. You're giving me goosebumps right now, yeah.
Right? The creation that is created from our imaginations. Mm. I mean, a friend of mine, that came up with a conversation I was having with a friend earlier today, the imagination, and talking about sort of the innocence of babies when they're born and how they really are existing from the place of there's no necessarily the logical mind programmed in them yet. They don't even have the language yet. Like, language has not been put into their system yet. They're just emotion and just free in that free place, and the imagination element of that, that starts to come, or actually I do feel like as a part of that, the children are just instantly imaginative.
Yeah.
Like they express themselves from their imagination, and yet we adults then end up playing, and I do question this, we adults do play these games with, we come in and say, we play this kind of, I feel like sometimes this may be a judgment. I do feel like we come into our children's lives with this imagination game that then we crush them with later. With, that's this, this imagination game that we were playing with you, it's not real. And then they have to grow up.
Yeah.
And then be like, oh, shit, Santa Claus isn't real? Oh, man, the Easter Bunny isn't real?
Yeah.
And then it's just, to me, it starts to set this, now I'm just free flowing through this. Like, I feel like it almost sets a precedent for the rest of our lives. As the more we get into this adulthood, the more we're taught that the imagination isn't real.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, it's not good to imagine. It's not good to daydream, especially when you're at school. Oh, wow.
Right.
I love daydreaming. I'm like, to be honest, maybe I do a bit too much.
No such thing. No such thing.
Yeah.
Nope.
So interesting, isn't it?
Check in with yourself for a second. Check in with yourself.
Yeah. Am I feeling all right?
Yeah. Let's revisit that statement. Maybe I do a little too much daydreaming. No, I'm serious.
No,
Check
I'm
in.
perfect. Perfect.
Right?
Like, yeah, I'm an imaginative person. We all are, I guess. Are we? Are we? Creative in some manner, which stems from the imagination. Oh my God, I love it. I love imagination. I love imagining different stuff. This wouldn't have happened if you hadn't. We were both thinking things, weren't we? Like we were both thinking podcast, and then we came together like these things you're talking about, like, and it all came together because you said something, and it's like, yeah. And I've got.
Actually, the only reason we're having this conversation is imagination. For sure.
Yeah.
Right. Huh.
Yeah. Wow. Imagination.
But I guess now I'm going to go back to pranks for a second. Oh yeah. Oh, sorry. Feel that for a minute. I don't want to. I feel like I interrupt you feeling that for a second.
Yeah.
Because like imagination, like the deprogramming that we experience around. Because I'm fascinated with I tell you, I'm definitely fascinated with the words deprogram and reprogram.
Yeah.
Like now I'm really consciously paying more attention to what I guess I'm a technician by trade, so I just, think things in that way a lot. Like, what am I living based on the program that I've been programmed as to how to live it, and then what about those programs do the more I step into what I feel like are my elements of my awareness and noticings of where I see those programs, maybe the parts of those programs that I don't want in my life space anymore. Choosing to look at those programs and then like, okay, what about those programs can I address? Even if it's just like slightly adjusting sentences, which is why like I've been doing things like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been trying to do that as well. So like
the word try. Yeah.
like the programs. Ooh, hello. More calling.
I thought put my phone on mute. I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna put it on mute again now.
It's like when you're growing up in a family that are very outgoing and you're the quiet one or you're the shy one. I was always the shy one, and I identified as being the shy one. And I just realized at the age of 52 or 3, I can't remember how old I am now, 52 or 3, 53 I think, I'm not shy. I was just scared the whole time.
That's brilliant.
I was scared because I realized now I was so deeply connected to my stuff, and I could feel so greatly the others around me that it scared me shitless, and I was just the quiet one because I was scared. I'm not shy. I'm pretty outgoing actually. So yeah. Really? Catching yourself when you're saying these statements like, I worry a lot. No, and I said in a recent thing, I don't worry anymore. I'm not a worrier. I'm not identifying as a worrier anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
But even the like, I'm not a prankster, I don't like pranks thing.
Yeah.
Like, where did I come up with that? Where did I start that? I think I already had that belief before the person in my life that had the intense hate for it came into my life. But that person that I latched onto that person's intense disgust for it as like just because I think it felt safer. There's something about that felt safer to not like, to just like, yeah, I guess I didn't really like pranks before that, but it's not that I didn't like them as I kind of feel it. Kind of felt like more like I wasn't really that into them because I guess I have been more reserved. I've always been a very reserved person. I'm not the one who's going to put myself out there.
Yeah.
Really. And pranks to me felt like the person that's going to put you on the stage. That feels like an act of stepping on the stage. Like even like a story about pranks that came up to bring it home to pranks.
We interrupt this live broadcast now for breaking news. Over to you, Nathaniel.
Thank you, Sarah. Science spiritologist from the Multidimensional University of You Got This released results of a study showing that seeing those number combinations that are often described as angel numbers, such as 222, 1111, 333, amongst others, are all definitely confirmation that you are moving in the right direction with your life. Reminders that you are definitely aligned with your true life purpose, as well as reminding you that noticing and observing yourself could be helpful to you at this point along your life path. Additionally, while conducting this study, the science spiritologist also discovered many other life-affirming number combinations, such as 927, 1,392,683, 105, 27, 04, 1,742, and many, many more. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you for that, Nathaniel. Straight back over to you.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. In related news, a totally different study performed by the science spiritologist from the Multidimensional University of You Totally Got This found that you, yes, you, totally got this at all times. And whatever you see and experience in your life that feels life-affirming to you is definitely communication that is meant for you and there to help you remember that you totally got this. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you, Nathaniel. Now we're heading over to our intrepid field reporter, Suzie Shitz All Ought. Are you there, Suzie?
Yes, thank you, Nathaniel and Sarah, for that. I am here in a lovely town called Funsville, in the epicentre of fun. And I've been meeting with the local residents to see what it is exactly makes it so fun here and why they're so happy. Back to you, Sarah and Nathaniel.
Thank you, Suzie, for that wonderful report. Wasn't it fantastic, Nathaniel?
Oh, wow, Suzie. Thank you for the great information about that important fecal matter you discussed. Back to you, Sarah.
Thank you. And thank you to our viewers today. And thank you to our sponsor, What the Fuck Do I Know? Until next week. Bye-bye.
The people, they laugh and live lives. Yes, they say it's crazy. World out there, so let's go out and play miracles. Nest we are basically beloved and stranger. Music I and I want. I live in purpose and live in delusions. Oh, so purity. The choice stops him who says when the dreams play on set. The choice stops him who says when the dreams